Well, welcome to the Moneytree Mastery Property Show, broadcast 12:30 every Thursday. We're here to share with you really real life nuggets of information about in the world of property, what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, and what's ugly that you can turn into Prince Charming or whatever you like to call it. But yeah, basically we're here to bring you bang up to date with the news in the world of property and yeah, give you it warts and all if necessary. So what's in today's show? Today we've got I'm going to be asking Jackie a question about what's new in her world. What is in It's only a week past, but what has she done that's new in the last week? We're going to talk a bit about our new program, NAB and Investor, which is super exciting. It's been very well received already. We're on month 2 and the numbers are growing all the time. And it's, though I say it myself, it was put together very, very well by us. That's the royal us. And it's exceptional value. So yeah, we'll put a link in the chat a bit later, will we?
Yeah, we will
About
be.
how to
Yeah.
get involved in that. That kicks off on Monday. And what else have we got? So what's hot in the world of property? Obviously, what's really hot right now, and some real up-to-date news hot off the press. So that's what we're going to cover in today's show.
Wonderful.
So where do we start? There's a lot to do. So let's go for the news, shall we?
Go for it.
Want the
Yeah.
news? Right. So obviously there's a huge announcement yesterday by Rachel Reeves. 35 billion pound, not million, billion pound pledged for affordable housing over the next 10 years. I haven't read too much of it in depth. It looks a bit of a stretch, to be honest. And I did read an article by our mentor, Dylan about it. And yeah, have a look at his comments on Facebook. Dylan Denetcher, follow him, have a look at his comments. They're he's a very, very intelligent man. He's got a financial background, so he understands it very well. And yes, well worth a read. Dylan Denetcher on Facebook, that'd be fantastic. So, and from the Daily Mail, have just put out, in a recent survey reports that over 50% of people aged between 18 and 34 are or have expressed an interest in getting into buy-to-let properties.
Interesting.
So 18 to 34-year-olds. So that is the future. So they could solve our housing problem, couldn't they? They could buy all these properties up and get them out on the rental market. That'd be fantastic news. But I think that's really good for the youngsters because that's never in my mindset at 18, not even at 34, to be fair. So that's how the world's changing, and how I think a lot of the youngsters are being educated in the fact that they're going to have to map out their own financial future rather than work 9 to 5 and wait for your pension.
I think there's more focus on being entrepreneur as well than there ever was.
There is, and obviously there's a lot more access to information about the world of property as well. So that was something that came in from the Daily Mail today. From Metro, another survey conducted by Landbay, 44% of existing landlords intend to increase their rent by 6% in throughout the rest of this year. That equates to an average, an increase of £74 per month on the average rental. So £74 a month is a lot of money for people to find, isn't it?
That really is.
But that's purely driven by the fact there's a shortage of rental properties. So, let's get out there and buy, and get them on the rental market. And this is interesting, not necessarily from an investment point of view, but first-time buyers now are, on average, taking mortgage products over 31 years to try and make them more affordable. So that obviously they're spreading it over longer, which means the payments are less on a monthly basis. That's 31 years to be stuck in the world of the mortgage, unless obviously you can climb your way out of that. But that's quite interesting. I took my first one out over 27 years because I couldn't afford it over 25. But that was quite rare back then that they'd allow that. So yeah, interesting. So another 4 years out, it's 31 years of your mortgage. It sounds quite daunting when you you get on the property ladder that you're signing up to paying a monthly fee for 31 years consecutively.
But it's not like you start young anymore with a mortgage either.
Well, no, the fortunate ones can, but obviously a lot of people struggle to get on the housing market. So if that's the way to get on it, why not? Because obviously then you can start to plan your future from there, because you're not locked into that product, or you can exit it at some point without penalty. So yeah, interesting. So that's the main news. Obviously, there's a bit of talk about interest rates dropping again within the next 4 to 6 weeks, and they've already suggested that the mortgage products will be reflected quite quickly. So there should be a reduction in some mortgage products as well on a percentage basis. So good news potentially
Nice.
around the corner.
We've got some refinancing coming up, so
We have got a couple we need to do. So yeah, it could be, good timing, not great timing, because we had it really good during COVID, didn't we? And those years, money was just too cheap, in all honesty. So yeah, but good news, it's going the right way.
made the dog squeal.
Okay, so on that note, apart from domestic abuse and the dog, what's new in your world?
The RSPCA on me.
Oh dear, I might have to take her off her.
Oh dear. She's always somewhere around, and it's windy today, so she keeps barking. So apologies if you are hearing the dog barking in the background.
Not very professional. So,
yeah,
I don't know if you noticed, last week we had our autumn winter collection on, and what a difference a week makes. We're now in our summer collection. Look at that. Hey, boom.
Got our summer clothing on.
Yeah.
So new, what's new? What have I got that's new? Oh, a new. Am I reading a new book? Yes, I am. New book, reading Paul McGee, How to Speak So People Listen. That's very good. So working quite a lot on presentation skills, working on just communicating with confidence. And yeah, so that book's really good, just about how to actually present well in a room full of people. So that's something that's really, really useful. I'm revisiting Dr. John Demartini's book, How to Make One Hell of a Profit and Still Go to Heaven, which which is all about your mindset. Really is about mindset and about being present and congruent and just mindful with who you are and what you do and who you spend your time with.
That's quite interesting, because obviously we got into property in 2018, and our first property education, our first ever boot camp, the guest speaker was Dr. John Demartini, and captivating. There's no other word for it. It was absolutely captivating, and we've seen him again since. Yeah, thoroughly, well, great value, good entertainment and great value.
Yeah, he is a fantastic speaker. He lives a life on a boat, I think, doesn't he? Doesn't he just cruise everywhere?
He does now. He used to be in Trump Tower, didn't he?
And he just cruises now.
Yeah.
And just his gigs where his cruise rocks up, which is a fantastic way to live. I've also discovered Simon, I think it's Sinek.
Simon Sinek, yeah.
Simon Sinek on YouTube. I've just discovered him. Again, a motivational speaker. I was listening to him this morning. I really enjoyed what I was listening to. So I think I should be following him a bit more. It's really important for me to be feeding my brain with positivity and the self-belief that you can get where you want to get to, and that you always learn from the things that get in your way. You're constantly learning. So yeah, so that was what Simon Sinek was really talking about. And I've also been revisiting something that I discovered probably a couple of years ago now, which is we signed up with a channel manager for our service accommodation called Amenities, and it came with this like learning centre called the Hotel Club, which is actually free on YouTube to anybody. You don't have to be part of Amenities. And so I've been revisiting the foundations of service accommodation. I felt like I just needed a refresher.
And I also think the world of serviced accommodation is getting a little bit tougher. We've certainly noticed a change in the market. Obviously, all the costs are going up, the utilities, your business rates, etc., are all going up, but it's not reflecting the nightly rate, is it? So, you know,
No, it's not.
cutting your profit, and we need to sort of turn that around.
Yeah.
We're not in it just to break even.
So we've actually put quite a bit of focus on them. We've been visiting them a lot more because we have got a management company in place. But there's obviously, there's only so much a management company can do. They can't run your whole business for you. They are there really just to take the bookings and look after the guests. They're not there to get you your business. That's your job. It is your business. So that's
Well, ultimately, in any
your
business, you're the
responsibility.
face of the business,
Yeah.
and no one's going to treat your business like you do
No.
or you want them to. It's the buck stops with you. You've got to manage your own business.
So we've upped our game somewhat. We're thinking more about customer experience and really thinking about the value that we offer as well, because I'm a real stickler for not doing things. I don't want to be cheap. If you do things cheap, you get cheap guests, and cheap guests are not who you want in your apartments because they don't respect them, they don't look after them, and they will want everything for nothing because that's their mindset. So for
And
me,
there's a huge difference between cheap and value.
Yeah, so it's about offering value. It's about just doing little things in the rooms, and customer service is huge. So customer experience is something that we've been focusing on a lot over the last couple of months. Yeah, and this is where the hotel club actually they're on YouTube, so it's available to everybody. But the hotel club, they do little like 10 video sort of tutorials on a particular subject about looking after a hotel or looking after your apartments. So it is a great resource just to go hop over, have a look. Obviously, once you've finished with us with this podcast, don't go too soon. To go and hop over if you're interested in service accommodation, then it is great. And it's always good as well, I think, to revisit the foundations. Learning, starts at a basic level. And if you do it well, that is your really, really strong foundations for a really good business model. So yeah, learning the foundations.
And not only that, you've got to keep up with market changes. So you need to be in and around the people that are in it the whole of their time. That's their complete livelihood. So you need to feed off them and see how their market's changing in the world of service accommodation and hotels, etc. So you make sure that you're as much as you can be ahead of the game rather than be proactive rather than reactive.
Yeah. Well, so some things have been new in my world and some things I'm revisiting, but it's about refreshing, isn't it? Because you forget so much as well. So it's always good to go back and then you relearn what you already learned, and it just brings it back to the front of your focus.
Quite a good point, actually, because obviously we've been in this game 7 years now and full time since March 2020, the pair of us, that is. But we still go back to the basics. We still go on webinars about the basics, the stuff that we were learning back in 2018. Because it's amazing how much drops off and you don't realise, stuff you don't implement anymore, which has got super value, but for some reason it's dropped off your radar. So we always sit on webinars regularly, even if they're, if you like, for want of an expression, entry level. There's always something that go, oh, hang on, why don't we do that anymore? Or hang on, that's a good idea. Didn't think of that. So there's always snippets you can take from any webinar that will enhance what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Always is. It's about reflection, really. It's about reviewing. I think that just the last couple of months, we've been really reviewing processes or looking at numbers more closely. Actually having
look small.
having proper focus, because it's too exciting doing the deals, chasing all the new, exactly, meeting new people, doing new things, super exciting, and then obviously the foundations start to disappear, so you have to bolster them back up again. But it is this continual ebb and flow of new and then reflection, new and reflection. So you can't let the foundations slip. Otherwise, what do you get if foundations slip? Subsidence.
Crumbling.
And you know what subsidence in your business?
It all crumbles around you.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, So nice little metaphor for you.
There we go. Property related.
A business lesson.
Look at that.
And a life lesson.
Look at that. Super value.
Marvelous. Okay, so news is all good. So actually, what hot topics? What do you think the hot topics are in the world of property at the moment?
There's lots of hot topics in the world of property, isn't it? Obviously, I think buy to let is still a big focus, isn't it?
Do you know what? That's out of all the strategies. Buy to let. I know people think they're a bit boring, but I don't think they're boring at all. I think it's just because there's no glamour with a buy to let, but I just think they are predictable. They're satisfying. They bring comfort.
So we actually run our own mentorship program, and we try and encourage everybody to start with a buy to let or buy, refurbish, rent, refinance, however many R's you want to
add in,
or repeat, refresh. I can add another one: repeat, rent, refinance. Yeah. Anyway, but obviously we know that you make your money at the point of purchase. That's how any business works. If you buy right, you've got a good business. And we love all our mentees, and most of them go that route. Some have got got their own ideas, but to get a buy to let under your belt, because if you buy it right, it's such a massive, safe learning curve, because you learn everything about finding the right location to implement the strategy. You find out about building relationships with the agents, how to negotiate with them, how to view a property, how to price the refurb, how to log the refurb along the way with videos, photos, evidence of the amount of value you're adding. You don't have to do extensions. You don't have to knock walls down. Buy a dirty, horrible, smelly property, do a top-class refurb, and you'll add sufficient money to potentially get most of your money back out on the refinance. So you then learn how to get it rented. You learn how, once you've got it rented, you've got that money drip feeding your bank account, you can put it out for refinance. So to my mind, you learn really good foundations of property investing just from one purchase, one process.
Yeah, I agree. And it's predictable as well.
And it's safe. If you buy it right, even if something goes wrong, you can sell it on day 2 for more than you paid for it.
Yeah.
So if you're using private funding, their money's safe, and this is how you get money across the line. This is what makes you attractive to money, and this is an tenuous link.
Not quite yet. I'm not ready for that.
Oh, so not ready for that. Well, this isn't scripted. It's as it comes, But I'd encourage everyone. Obviously, I'd encourage everyone to get on our mentorship program, but I'd encourage everyone, whoever you're with, to start with a buy to let.
I agree. The amount of conversations that we have with people who I mean, I do understand, these big numbers, I want to get 50 grand off a flip deal, or, and I do understand the reasoning behind it, but
well, a flip's not that different to a buy to let.
No,
so you've got the two exit strategies on one deal, haven't you?
The buying process is the same. The development, the refurb is pretty much the same. You just do a high quality refurb on a flip, but the sticking point is selling, isn't it? That is selling.
Yeah, it's unpredictable. The market's a bit dormant at the moment. Prices coming down, so
market influences the market influences your sale price, but what it doesn't do is stop people needing somewhere to live. So that's why rentals are predictable, because if you've done your research properly, you've done your research properly, then you know who your target market is. You know that there's a demand in that area for that type of property. There is so many fail safes when it comes to rental as well, because you have got service. My words aren't coming out. You've got the social housing. And there's some really amazing social housing offers out there at the moment, as well as the private rental sector.
Yeah, social housing is a big focus of ours at the moment. But there's a question in the chat, which is a very, very good question.
So I'm just going to say hi to the people who have joined us. Thank you for joining us live on the Moneytree Mastery Property Show. It's amazing. So this is recorded. This is our podcast. It will be going out onto our YouTube channel once we have finished today. So actually it should appear.
What is the channel called?
So it's Jackie and Neil Dobson. That's us.
Moneytree Mastery.
Moneytree Mastery, yeah. So you can find us on YouTube.
So Bliss has asked a very, very good question. Should your buy-to-let be bought in a limited company? Absolutely, yes. And the reason for that is to own it in your own name is no longer tax efficient. I think it's the only business, if you only own it in your own name, where you're taxed and the entire rental income, the entire turnover, rather than the profit. So always buy a buy-to-let in a company name, because it's not tax efficient otherwise.
And just added a bit about you can buy a buy-to-let and use social housing to source tenants. You can,
absolutely,
but just to be clear, that you need to know your tenant type, because that's going to reflect. Well, I'm going to say in your mortgage, but they're going to put.
Oh, if the renters' rights bill comes in,
that will have an effect. So
yeah.
But just know, get in touch with social housing beforehand, because sometimes they don't need you to put ovens in. They will supply those. So yeah, so speak to social housing if that's the route you're going to go. So speak to your local council, see what their requirements are, and then you may find that there's grants actually through different schemes and councils that can help you with actually refurbing your property, or will assist in some way. So yeah, so that's what's great to know who your tenant type is going to be before you actually start the refurb. Yeah,
absolutely. And I was actually in email conversation with a local council to us yesterday, and they expressed a number of ways that you can actually get over market rent, even on NHA rates. So it's worth contacting your local council, build relationships. We advocate all the way through. You've got to build the relationships and work together, and you get a much better outcome.
Yeah, it's actually I think it's a very exciting time for buy-to-let, special social housing.
Yeah.
Because we've got a socialist government. So this is the thing. It's not to be scared of change. We can't be scared of change. If we are in the property world, there is always changes. There's always going to be new legislation. There's going to be a new government. Potentially every 4 years there's going to be a new government. So they've got different ideas. They've got different ways of doing things. It's like working for a new company every 4 years. So that means that if we cannot change, if we haven't got the mindset to make the changes that are required to get the success, then we might as well not.
And to do that, you've got to have your ear to the ground. So you've got to be in it. Basically, you've got to be in it and treat it as business. At the end of the day, it's not a hobby. You're running a business, so you need to make sure you know what's going on in that world of your business
and make the adjustments accordingly. Yeah, so that's all it is. It's just making adjustments. It's understanding, having that knowledge, which you get by being around people like us, or other property circles, networking events, but it's being around people who are serious about property, people who are actually, are property investors. There's too many people out there who want to be in property, but they suck up, they absorb all the negativity, and it's about being positive, about understanding.
That's interesting.
About understanding how we make those changes and how we make those new legislation, new guidelines actually work for us, rather than having that I can't change and being frightened of it. It's about being open-minded, finding out how to do something. So yeah,
which is really interesting.
My soapbox.
Yeah, I was going to say, see if I can get involved here and get enough to get away.
Let me before.
I
get quite passionate about this.
That's why we work in different rooms.
I get quite passionate.
But that's quite interesting, because I've just hooked up with Mel Robbins.
See, that really surprises me. You're a very male, and you're very influenced by males. So
I love being around females.
I know, but you are You always call yourself an alpha male, and you are, you are quite a presence in a room.
Am I?
Yeah, so I
Fantastic.
find it quite surprising that a female.
I just think the way
Yeah,
she
it appeals to
articulates
you.
her words are very engaging. And, I'm watching her, I've hooked up with her on TikTok. So they're shorts. They're sort of up to 5 minutes max, but it's incredible as how her mind is about negativity. It's all about blocking out negativity and blocking out stuff that you can't change. Stuff that's happened, obviously you can't, there's no point. You can learn from what's happened in the past, but you can't change it. And you can't predict the future with too much.
No, you really can't.
So it's all about living the now. And if you let negative people and negative mindset and negative thoughts go on, you're basically draining your energy and your sleep. So you're not going to function at 100%. So I'm trying to learn it because I think a lot in the middle of the night. That's when I do my deep thinking, which is really irritating. Really irritating. I'd rather be asleep. So I'm trying to combat that, and listen to Mel Robbins has started to help with that. So I'll continue.
That's amazing. I'm really pleased actually that you've discovered that.
But I'm going to sleep through
No,
like a big grown up.
Because I know that you. Well, the last couple, if no one has met, actually nobody on the call today actually has been with us before, so you haven't heard the tale of woe that's been going on in the last few months with us, with our big block of apartments. But it's been quite challenging. I mean, we are in the mix. We have service accommodation, we have buy-to-lets, we are looking for land, so we are in it. We know what's going on, as well as coaching people. So it's our experiences that we bring, to you guys, so we can tell you relevant information. And we've been there, done that. So, we've experienced all sorts of things, especially this year. But crikey's having the strong mindset. I tell you what, the universe has challenged us. Resilience. I think I'm going to have that tattooed somewhere on my body. Maybe if you chop me in half, I'm going to have resilience.
It's not just the resilience; it's the effort, time, and effort we've taken to build the team around us.
Oh my goodness!
The team around us, our power team, have really come to the party this year,
and they still continue to as well.
And we've had a tough-ish year. We've had some setbacks. Still here, still smiling. But I mean, that's life. You're going to get setbacks in life. It's how you deal with it. There's always obstacles. Yeah. Even going down to the renters' rights bill, there's so much negativity about it. We've sort of had a good read through it, and we decided we can navigate our way around that and mitigate the risk. We now put guaranteed rent insurance on every new tenancy. So our voids will be reduced should a tenant not pay. So there's ways of mitigating the risk and navigating your way through any change. So I'm not scared of change. We've got 11 buy-to-lets, and I think we've had one who we knew would stop paying, so we sort of wrote that into our numbers. And we took a punt with another one, so we sort of had a 40%, or a 60% chance that he was going to stop paying, which he did. But that was in the numbers as well. So the ones that we took on, we actually bought these tenants with the property. Property got a tenant for free, or maybe not for free. But we knew that there was always going to be that chance. The property was cheap for a reason, put it that way. We knew that, so we took that risk. So we worked that into our numbers. But you just navigate your way around it. You learn, and having a network of people around you who have been there, done it as well, who have walked the walk, talk the talk. That is invaluable, absolutely invaluable. So questions. If you have got any questions you want us to answer live on the show, please feel free to pop them on the chat. Anybody on Facebook, then let us know you're there. Give us a wave, put a comment in.
If you're watching this on replay, then just put hashtag replay. Do you know what? I know my dad watched, he found us on Facebook last week. I think it popped up in his feed. My dad is 86 and he was watching us on our Facebook Live. Do you think he's our oldest viewer?
No, my mother is, I reckon. My mother's 89 and she's on Facebook more than I am. Yeah, so.
My dad was like, I watched you on YouTube. And then so he started asking us loads of questions. He's great. I love it. I think if he had had his chance to do this, what we do now, he would have been so good at it. He would have been really good at it. But it's super interesting that he could come and ask us questions, but he wants to watch us on YouTube to fill his time. Which is very amusing. So is he our oldest viewer, do you think, at 86?
Possibly.
Do you reckon?
Possibly. My mother, I don't know if she's on, I don't know if she watches us. She's probably seen enough of me, to be fair. So I'm not sure she watches us. And she is, hello, Mum.
Give her a shout out. Give the parents a shout out. Our biggest cheerleaders are our parents. So if you have got any questions and you want us to answer them live here and now, then feel free to put them in the chat and we will do our best to get to them and to answer them. Just some things actually that have been coming up this week, because we've got NAB and Investor. We've got a NAB and Investor group. We actually started it last week. So exciting. So exciting. All about helping people to raise money for their property projects. Neil's glasses don't work with the old varifocals, so excuse the top of his head. But questions or things that we've seen, the same concerns that come up time and time again. When we're speaking to our mentees and speaking to people in other groups as well, it's about having that confidence with knowing your numbers.
Oh, numbers is the...
It's the lifeblood.
One of the most difficult things to get your head around for a lot of people. So obviously some people, are gifted with numbers, then it just comes naturally. But it will become second nature if you just keep doing them. And then why do you keep doing them? Just keep view, offer, run the numbers, offer, and then it becomes second nature. I don't know if you can read that. There's something in the chat.
Oh, cool. So Anita, hello Anita, thank you for hopping on. Become a tenant and not a homeowner. Do you know what? We're tenants in this house that we're in, this little corner.
Why is that? Let people know why.
So we do have properties in our own name, but we choose to rent where we live. Because we would prefer to spend our money. So I don't know, this is probably quite controversial actually. It's like a do you, don't you? But
we do own assets. So.
We do have our assets in our own name, but the house we live in, we rent that. We are tenants. Because we want to buy assets that actually bring us an income. So it's that old age question, isn't it? Or is your home a liability or an asset if you own your home?
Well, owning your home will cost you money.
Yeah, I know. And it's always that question of it's security. Yeah, it is security. But now, being on having my tenant hat on with the renters' rights bill, which is about to come along
at the end of summer, yeah,
gives us even more security. So there is that little element of, that they could pull the rug. And
the other thing is we live in an area of outstanding natural beauty, and we just keep village hopping. So every 5 years we try another village out. So it's
a beauty as well, because we get to move. Yeah. Like the house that we live in now is just ridiculous. It's
far too big.
Oh my goodness, it's like a bit of an ego rub, isn't it? The house we live in at the moment. It's unnecessary. We have too many rooms and we have a garden that's like a field. So it actually is quite challenging to keep on top of everything. So
if I cut the grass myself, I average 4 miles cutting the grass.
But we get to live in a house that we probably wouldn't buy ourselves, and we don't have to pay for the repairs and the maintenance of it. But we get to live in it, and we get to live in
this is all down to personal choice, really, personal preference. Really is. But it works for us.
Yeah,
and we haven't got any money tied up, so we can utilise that money to buy assets. So.
Yeah. See, that's the thing.
Yeah, and recycle that money, so that money can buy multiple properties because you just repurpose it time and time again.
It's actually one of Stephen Bartlett's guests on his Diary of a CEO. Another one of my faves, Stephen Bartlett.
I'm slipping down the list.
after the dog. One of his guests, I can't remember who it was, but he was talking about not owning your own home, not about not owning assets. And your brother actually, I was talking to your brother about it as well, and he's come to sort of realise like
Which one?
what is number 2 brother, about what is the point in owning your assets when you get to a certain age, especially as our parents have got friends, you know, who are at the stage where they are needing like more care than they can actually have at home. And then it's discussions about selling assets, you know, and if you don't have those assets to sell, you'll get looked after anyway. So it's like, it's quite a controversial subject, I think.
Yeah.
So it's really down to you. And also, if you are at an age and you want to get into property, have a chat with a mortgage broker, because they're going to really dictate to you how easy it is for you to get lending when it comes to buy to let.
Absolutely, yeah. So just to put that in perspective, obviously owning a property in your own name, an investment property in your own name isn't tax efficient, but you need to own an asset in your own name to help mortgaging, to aid your finance.
It helps
financing your investment property. So yeah, if it's your own home, fine. If it's an investment property, fine. But it will need to be in your own name, not an limited company, to be classed as an asset. So yeah, and that does make it a lot easier to get mortgages for investment properties, just to put that in perspective.
Yeah, because the mortgage company want you to have some leverage against something that you own if they need to come after you for any reason. So that is a very interesting topic. There is lots to think about. I think it's a super interesting topic.
And I think Bliss has also asked about sort of advice, or haven't they? We could set up a discovery call, couldn't we?
I've got email addresses, so I can get in contact with you, no problem. Actually, there is going to be something coming up very soon, so going to give you an opportunity. So if you just hold fire, there will be something coming through into your inbox to give you that opportunity. So
and we'll talk you through it shortly.
Yeah. So other things, talking to people, I found that the reliance on other people quite heavy as well. I'll put it into context.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you mean?
As in, it's great having a network of people around you, because you feed from them, you feed from their positivity, you feed from their contacts, from just having those people that really get what it is you're striving to achieve, why we decide to be property entrepreneurs. But it's when it's trying to speed up the process by getting somebody else to do the work for you, rather than finding out the information and learning. It's trying to miss out that learning step, I think, is detrimental for your business. You're relying on other people's information, other people's perception of what it is that you want.
Yeah, we hear consistently about people getting into serviced accommodation and saying, well, I'm going to hand it straight over to management. You need to know how it works first before you hand to any management company, because you won't be their only client. As much as we like to think we are the only client they've got and we're the most important person in their business, you won't be their only client, and they will not treat your business how you would run it. So you've got to understand your business, and you've got to understand your business to make sure they're not pulling the wool over your eyes as well. So, for instance, our first two, which is my favourite strategy actually, which is buy, refurbish to serviced accommodation. It's my favourite strategy. Own the asset and then run service accommodation with it.
Can I ask why it's your favourite strategy? What is it that you like so much about it?
Because, well, obviously it's the cash flow element, but you've also own the asset. So, you know, should the area change, should the market in your area change and SA no longer works, you can easily transition into buy to let. So you've really got this safety net all the time about that property is always going to wash its face. It's never going to cost you money. So, you know, every deal we do, we've always got two exits in mind, because for a flip, even we discovered this, well, witnessed this last year. It's not something we discovered. We knew it could happen. But we did a flip last year and the market completely changed during the refurbishment and house prices really started to plateau. So we got what we based our numbers on, but I believe if we'd have come to market 2 months earlier, we'd have probably got another 10 grand for it.
Yeah.
So, but the backup plan on that is actually if the market deteriorated further, we could refinance it and it would wash its face. So we've always got two exit strategies in mind. So yeah, but you have got to understand how that business runs before you can hand it on to someone else to run for you.
Yeah, 100%. Even just knowing your numbers, where to find certain pieces of information. It's all very well using like your power team. We actually our experience, because we have our own private mentees and we assist in another big education company as well with assisting their mentees. And it's about asking us to find pieces of information for them, like specific bits of information, because they either don't want to put the time and the effort into finding it, or they're just being super lazy. And I think that asking us is the quickest way there. But quick is not where you learn. It's you learn by going through the motions, by going through the process, by facing those challenges, or the little snippets of information that you pick up because you're in the mix, because you're doing the do. That is where you get those amazing golden nuggets, and where you start to just learn more and more and more. So trying to fast track stuff, it's like the shiny penny syndrome, isn't it? With all these, like, the promise of 50 grand per deal. It's like you're going from knowing nothing to then wanting to do massive commercial conversions because you can see this huge figure. We all want wealth. This is why we're doing this. We want wealth. We want to have that financial success. But you've got to learn little by little by little along the way.
Well, this is exactly why, I go back to again, start with the buy to let, because what happens if you get good reps, if you source that property through an agent, you're true to your word, they're gonna start feeding you more deals, more and more properties, because the average person, individual or family, will buy one property home every 10 years. So who's the better customer? We are, because we want to buy 3, 4, 5, 6 a year. So if you're true to your word and you do everything in a timely manner, and ultimately they get their commission, they're going to come back to you time and time again with deals. And ultimately what happens in the long run is they're doing the work for you. They're introducing you potential deals. You don't even go out there looking. So you've got to build that reputation, that respect. You've got to put the hours in, you've got to do the work to reach that stage. And we never had any plans to do anything but buy to let. We were just wanting to back up our pensions, just bolster our pensions a bit with a bit of rental income. But the opportunities kept coming and everything evolved in it. And we did deals.
We were good. We were good at this.
Yeah, and not only good at it, thoroughly enjoyed it. Loved the chase, loved the winning, loved everything about it, the pricing of the and discovered that we're really good at it, and we got quite a reputation. We've done over 65 deals now, or 67 deals now in the 7 years. So it's become a bit of a drug, really, isn't it?
It is a little bit addictive, yeah. It really is. So you haven't started yet, be warned. Once you start getting that little taste for it, there'll be no stopping you.
But us doing that, putting the hours in, making the mistakes, getting it right, all of the things, we all go through oh yeah, we didn't quite get that one right, or actually we shouldn't have bought that property, so we need to get out of it. We've done one of those.
Yeah.
But because of all our experience, all our mistakes, we've learned together, and our mentorship program now, I think it's phenomenal value.
Oh,
And
100%.
and our mentees are smashing it. So
yeah, it's really great.
How much have we invested in ourselves in property education?
Oh, crikey, it's probably looking at about 150,000. Sorry, parents, if you're watching this.
Yeah.
We're just
They're
off.
kittens, if you hear that bit, yeah.
I know. Yeah, so but it has been money well spent. There's
It's
no
about return on
way.
investment.
Yeah, 100%.
What it's all about, return on investment.
Yeah. and our portfolio just continues to grow. We continue to grow as humans as well. We're always doing something new, always learning
And
from past.
more astounding, we continue to get on.
Just for this hour. It's
Yeah.
all different when we go off air.
We're the best actors in the world. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking for a major film role. I am.
But it is great. I mean, we've got to do some amazing things, speak to some amazing people, be part of some amazing events. So yeah, it's an exciting world to be in, even if you just want to bolster your pension, really, that pension part. It's just the people that you get to meet in property. I just think they're a different caliber of person to anybody that I've met, or sort of like a certain level of business. The entrepreneurs have just got a different mindset and a different way of thinking and sharing information.
So
we haven't got long, so 15 minutes we've got left. So
have we got anything coming up? And actually, Bliss has asked another question there.
Oh, the replay. So we will be putting this onto our YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel is Jackie and Neil Dobson, Moneytree Mastery. So this will appear there, plus past episodes as well. So there's a whole list of different podcasts. We do the Moneytree Mastery Property Show once a week. It's always Thursdays at 12:30. Well, actually, yesterday we had our Clarity and Connections networking, our online networking. So that's been held once a month. So if you just keep an eye out for that, then you can join us at the networking next month.
Absolutely. Isn't it? I don't think anybody's got cameras today.
No, I'm quite liking it actually.
I've
got transcribe on the Zoom.
So I'm liking it. I like to see people's faces.
Because you start watching what people are doing rather than focusing on the distraction.
We can't see the faces they're pulling at us. Oh, I like to see people.
I do appreciate everybody who's come today to take part in this live recording of our podcast. So really do appreciate you spending this time with us.
You could hook up with us on Facebook as well at Dobson's Property Adventure.
Yeah, find out what we're up to.
You can see it on there, yeah. Dobson, there's always lots going on there.
Yeah, there's always something. We're always up to something. So you'll always find there's some reason to come and spend some time with us. Or for us to come and spend some time with you. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yes.
So top tips. I just want, if something that you do regularly, what would you suggest if you're on this property adventure and you are, you're in it, every week you're doing something just to move you on that little further. Is there any top tips just so you get that little bit better? So you know that we work on the 1% rule. Everything you do is just 1% better than you did last time. What would your top tips be for that?
Top tips really would be very much relationship building. And by that, I mean, I'd get to networking events and I'd get to a variety of networking events, not all property related. So get some business networking events. I'd also go and speak to agents, not just email or telephone. Go in and sit down with them. You probably, there's a few on the line that have heard this little story. We became very, very memorable by one coffee and walnut cake.
It's always cake. It's always food involved with us.
Well, I'll tell you how. We went into it's an independent estate agent who we didn't know very well, but we've subsequently since probably bought 70% of our portfolio through them, haven't we?
Yeah.
And they manage a lot of our properties, but we didn't know them at this point. We went in as Neil and Jackie, and they're quite a big outfit for an independent, and nearly everybody's sitting around eating cake because it's someone's birthday, apart from one lady. And I said, I nearly said, are you on a diet? But I managed to hold that back. I said, are you not joining in? And she said, no, unfortunately, I'm celiac, so I can't eat the cake. So she's gluten intolerant. So anyway, next time we went in, we took a gluten-free coffee and walnut cake, didn't we? And we just went in and said, there you go, everybody can eat this. And now we're at the forefront of their minds the whole time if the right properties come on. And so it's very, keep your eyes and ears open for little reasons that you can become memorable, so that you're in the forefront of their mind when the right property comes on the market. or prior to market. Quite often now we get the heads up before they go on Rightmove and get a viewing more often than not before they're on Rightmove, don't we? So it is a little bit of relationships. It's the people that you surround yourself with and you work with that will bring you success. Honestly, they bring us. Our flip I was just referring to came from that agent, which is 68 miles away. So a flip nearer to our home came from an agent 68 miles away that we deal with in our main investment area, because they saw it online and they thought of us. And also it helps having a bit of a what do you do? Would you call it a mantra? If it stinks of we, think of me. So, and that's how I remember we go, if you got any dirty, horrible, smelly properties, actually, if it stinks of we, think of me, I'll buy it. And they all remember us for that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, really.
Well, it gets us deals. So.
Do you know one of my top tips would be to be constantly reviewing what you're doing. Do you know what? We've got really bad habits with pens in our hands and waving them around.
Have I been doing it?
Yeah, we both do it. So I'm putting it down. So this is my reflection.
We're more nervous than we look, eh?
Reflection review. So yeah, but just try and be 1% better at everything that you do. And now I'm really conscious of what I'm doing with my hands. So every conversation that you have with somebody, just, sometimes conversations are not going to go right. So you're trying to raise money, you've gone into an estate agent and we want to build those relationships. But maybe you come out and you think, oh, that didn't go very well. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just sit back and say, what can I do better? What didn't I like about it? Actually sit down and analyze your conversation. Analyze maybe the words that you use, the reaction that you got from using those words, and just use it as everything we do, we're learning from our actions, we're learning from the results of our actions. So really just, reflect and review everything that you do. And you will find that you're able to, just make those tiny, tiny improvements. It's like the plane. They always say, you start your journey, the plane has the desired destination, but it's never a straight line there. It's always just nudging it back on course. And that's all we're doing all the time. It's just making those tiny, tiny improvements. We're always just nudging ourselves back on course again. And then we get to that goal, we get to that destination.
And again, I'm going to refer to our mentorship program.
Why not?
Because, well, we're very hands-on. We keep people very accountable to make sure that they're constantly moving forward, not competing against each other, because it's your business, it's your desired outcome. It's, when I use the word, it's your property journey. So all we do is make sure that we're keeping you accountable and keeping you moving forward, and it works wonders, I think. So yeah, where were we?
I don't know, that was fun.
Okay.
Yeah, about moving forward, and coming to moving forward next week, we've got something very exciting.
Well, what I was going to say, actually, especially with agents, the language you use is absolutely crucial. And you'll get the shutters come up immediately if you use the word discount. Have you got any discounted properties? They're just going to put the shutters up and get, switch off to you. So never ever use the word discounted. The language you use is absolutely crucial.
I'm just going to add to that, because that's a very good point, but I'm just going to put a bit more sort of understanding into what you just said.
No, right.
Because the agents will have a basic wage, and there'll be also earning commission from each property that they sell. So for them, they want to be getting best price for every single property that they sell. So us going in with our low offers may seem on that basis a bit challenging, but as Neil has already mentioned, we will be buying multiple properties during that year. So actually the commission per property might be a little bit lower, but it's going to be greater in quantity, rather than the person that's looking for their forever home that may, actually only move once in every 10 years or so, but it'll be a good few years before they start looking for another property. So they'll have one sale from that particular customer once every maybe 5 years. From us, they may have 5 sales in 1 year. So this is what we need to educate them on is that, okay, so the amounts might be small for their commission, but actually we'll be doing it in multiples in a
And then
12-month
you've
term.
got the sweetener on top, depending on what strategy you're implementing. Because if we intend to rent that property out, as in do a buy to let, say, okay, your commission's a little bit lower because we're buying it below market value, but actually we're going to rent it back through you. So you're going to get a monthly income from us as well.
Yeah, or if you may be doing a flip and you're going to sell it
through them.
so they get two sales. So
you've got to highlight the benefits of working with you.
Yeah, so it really is, you know, it is about selling yourself to that agent. Yeah, and you're absolutely highlighting the benefits. So it's not about just the here and now, it's about the longevity of the relationship.
Yeah.
That's why it's great to have proper relationships with estate agents and really build on that like, know, and trust. Get them to understand your business model. So you can just, you only need a handful of people. You do not need hundreds of agents to work with. You will find the people that you actually feel really comfortable with, and that they actually become your friends, people that you would go down to the local pub and have a drink with.
It's interesting about your property business evolving, because we bought 3 buy-to-lets to start with, 2 of them through the agent we've just been talking about. And then before we knew it, our 4th purchase was a 4,500 square foot shop.
On a whim. Don't do that.
With the walk around saying, oh, this will turn nicely into apartments.
Please don't buy commercial property without having done some training and some proper research. But hey ho.
It worked for us.
It did work, but that's another story.
Yeah.
We will tell that story another time.
Go on that journey today.
It's not enough time. Not enough time. But what I have got time for is to let you know about Nab an Investor, which starts on Monday. Oh my goodness, this is so
fantastic.
Exciting. So we are spending next week all about nabbing an investor, raising finance, understanding how to have those conversations that you can create cash from. It starts Monday. And you know what? You can join us. It's only 27 quid. 27 quid per month. You come spend Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings with us. We are going to go through absolutely everything that you need to set you up to get those investors on board. Where to find those investors, what to say to them, how to structure your deals, what things to put in your deal packs and your proposals to get them to understand your deal and to make and give you so much confidence that you can just have these conversations with real ease.
Absolutely. So the outcome is, by the end of the week, you'll become attractive to money. So we've never asked for money. We've raised in excess of, I think you said 3.5 million yesterday. I thought it was just over 2.5, but I'll bow to your knowledge. But we've never asked for money. The money's always come to us. So we've positioned ourselves that we are attractive to their money, and it's backed up by the numbers in the deal. So it's, come along. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it's 7 p.m. start, all on Zoom. And what Jackie's put together is phenomenal.
So I'll just give you a little writing.
And my delivery will be exceptional.
So the things that you get, so it's not just accountability with those 3 sessions, but this is every month. Every month we'll be meeting up. You are founder members as well. So you can come and join us. There is no fixed contract with this either. It's not like a 12-month like membership. It's £27 a month until you decide to opt out. Now, what I can tell you is it's only going to be £27 up until August. So past August, this will be going out and going up. Sorry, and the reason why it's going to increase in price is because you, at the moment, as founder members, are helping us put this together. So we are listening to your requirements and I'm making it into this fantastic model. But you are going to enjoy the benefits of, one, just being part of this fantastic community, the Moneytree Mastery community. One, learning from us and getting all that knowledge and everything that we have given put into this toolkit, because we didn't have any of this knowledge when we first started. So we really understand where you are if you're starting out and it just not knowing the process to take or the steps to take to actually get your investors on board. So just to give you a little flavour of the toolkit. So you can have the toolkit, that will be yours forever. And then you can join us by keeping those monthly payments going. Then you can join us on the actual challenge. So you'll be part of the community and part of the accountability month in, month out. So the toolkit will have investor objections. So I've actually written 100 investor objections. So going into meetings and talking to potential investors will no longer be super scary or daunting, because you'll already know the objections that they potentially can come up with and guide your conversations around them or answer them before they even come up in conversation. Also about networking, I've put together a fantastic little workshop about networking as well, of how to get into the right room with the right people, and then how to really identify who are your potentials, so you can actually discount and, you know, not waste your time talking to the wrong people. Also, it's things that you're going to need to create, like your investor proposal. I've put together a template for that, and also just to make it super easy or scary depending on who's listening, but I've put together some AI prompts as well, so you can actually get AI to help you put together a deal pack. I put together a resource center as well, so where you can get all information about what's hot in the market, what's causing prices to go up or go down. So there's all these different resource centers that I've put together in a document as well, so you can draw on all that information just to make your packs super informative and really compelling to drive that that investment your way. So if this is something that you want to get involved with, then to get on the program, so it does start Monday. If you join after Monday, then I'm afraid you'll be in next month. So you do need to sign up by sort of lunchtime Monday, but it's at moneytreemastery.com, and then it's /NAB and investor. So NAB and investor is NAB-and-investor. So if you just hop on there, moneytreemastery.com, NAB and investor, you can join for just £27 a month at this moment. After August, it will be increasing to 97. You will get then, it will obviously hit the button, make your payment. You'll then get an email. I'll put you into our private WhatsApp group as well. You can meet the other people on NAB and Investor, and they can join us on Monday and really start building on that momentum to get you, your investors on board, and really get you to grow those portfolios, because the money will never run out.
Run out of money again. That's the whole idea. Yeah.
So I'll stop banging my drum about NAB and Investor, but I'm so excited about it because it's so fabulous.
It's been so, the first month was so well received, and